I sold my business at the age of 35 and lost all my purpose overnight. I had no choice but to start again. And I quickly found out building a business never gets easier. Now I'm racing the clock to build an app in a world where AI could wipe us out at any moment. This is behind the scenes of how we are building Clipflow. Today, Sim and I are off to go and find a new car just before the Easter long weekend here in Australia, which is super annoying because everything's going to be closed. And we urgently need a new car because Bodhi is going on holiday, and without a vehicle, it will just be super tough. So last minute Hail Mary to quickly go and try and find something that's in stock. And it's going to be very hard. It's a very sad day because we've loved that Golf. It's done so much for us over the years. It was literally Frank's reward when we sold our business in Melbourne so that he could actually drive around and do sales in a proper car, not a ute, so that we could actually look like a professional business. The things you do when you're starting are actually crazy. So today we're off. We're going to go and check out some Toyotas, hopefully something that just lasts. I don't want to think about it ever again. Let's go. It's going to be a fun adventure. Last minute thing to do. All right, checking in after this week. Now, this week has been a really tough one for me. There were periods of time when I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I taking on all this load? Why am I taking on all this stress? You've made it. What are you doing? What are you doing? And those doubts come in your mind a lot once you've kind of achieved, to be honest, enough for your career. You can retire. Why do you do things? I think that's a really good question to ask yourself. And honestly, I'm still trying to find the answer for that. But I do know what not doing stuff looks like. And I know that I don't want to do that. That is boring. And that is not a life that I really want to be living. So for me, it's like learning how to find the fun. I guess I should be able to do that at this stage. It's like find the fun in what I do and like take the pressure off myself. I inflict a lot of pressure on myself. It's just kind of how my brain's wired. It's always thinking about what's the next thing and how can I execute? And then, customers say stuff and I take that on board. I want to solve the problem for them, obviously, because we're trying to build a product. We're trying to find product market fit. That's an important time. And I can make that excuse now, but I know that even in the end of RealHub and the last business, I was still the same. I was always trying to make the customers happy. Because at the end of the day, that's the point, right? Like you're trying to create value, and you create value by making someone go like, wow, this actually brings value and what I get, what I pay for. So that's a part of me, but I'm also trying to figure out like things like training. How can I make training more fun? Training at the moment is really hard, really, really, really hard. My HRV is plummeting, so my heart rate variability, which is basically an indication of how recovered you are. I'm sleeping fine, but my body with the underlying stress is just slowly going downhill. And I know why. The training's hard, work's hard, everything's hard. There's lots of stress with the build. There's other things in the background as well, just is boiling there. And it's like, how can I make this fun? How can I make this like something that's like really exciting to do? I put a lot of expectation on the build being done, our new home. I can create the space that I had in Curl in the Northern Beaches, which was like a sauna, a place to work, a place for my team to come. Because for me, I get a lot of energy from being around people, funnily enough, which is a weird thing for me to say if you know me, but I do like working with people. There's energy that you can feed off and it's fun. And like having that space, we don't have that really right now. It's a bit tough. Yes, it's going to bring the next set of challenges, which is actually like running a luxury retreat and then trying to optimize that so it kind of runs itself, because that's the goal. It's like it needs to run itself. It's an investment. It needs to do that. I obviously have to have a hand in marketing, setting that all up, setting up the systems, all that kind of stuff. And then we can enjoy that space. Because that's why we bought it. It was to enjoy it. And over the last 4.5 years, it's kind of sucked that away out of it, sucked that fun out of it. What do we need to do? How do we take off some certain pressures that don't need to exist? And for me, one of those things is just like understanding that Clipflow is a business that will win and will succeed given enough time. That's the key thing here for me. It's like, I don't have any desire to give up, and I will not give up. And what it looks like in the end, I don't know. Because you don't know what a business looks like. Businesses evolve, they change depending on customer needs, all that kind of stuff. But I know that I want to play the game for long. So how can I optimize for that? Not optimize for the short term and trying to get features in today to try and solve today's problem, but how can I think big, think far? And if it means losing a customer, be okay with that. It hurts, it really does. When you're this small, it really does hurt. But you have to be okay with that, because yes, maybe you couldn't deliver today, but I want to ultimately deliver what we promise. And the platform's great, but some workflows it struggles to do, right? Like, because it's just not built for that. And understanding that, and then just like having peace with that, and keep moving. I think this is the hardest thing for businesses in general, because you don't know what it looks like. You don't know what the road looks like ahead. You're guessing constantly. Even if you've done it before, the next time around is completely different, especially if you're going to a new industry. It plays out differently. The first time we built a business, there's no such thing as AI. This time we have AI. We have people promising you every day that it's replacing your jobs, going to take out your system, SaaS apocalypse, all this stuff. It's just the noise. We had noise in the past. We had competitors that were going to eat our business. New competitors coming out. They were better than you, blah, blah, blah. It's always there, and it's always going to be in some way, shape, or form. Figure out like how to drown that out. And as long as you're improving and building something better, you're going to move forward. And if you keep moving forward and you keep improving, you don't sit down and kind of give up, you win, right? And what does winning mean? That's, I think, is also very good to define, especially in a time like now. Is like, what does winning look like for me? It's not a massive exit, right? Like when you start and you say like, oh, I'm going to build $1 billion business. What does that mean? Build a business that's fun to be in. Because ultimately, when you have a team of executors who can they enjoy what they do, they have a passion for it, and they want to be good, you're going to build something epic. And by building something epic, customers are going to like it and you're going to grow. But you can't just say, I want to be $1 billion business, because that doesn't make any sense. Like, what is that? I want to build a great product that helps people and provides value. That's something you can actually achieve. And then the outcome on the other side, you don't know what that looks like. You could be perfectly timed in the market for when you sell, like we did when I did our last business. Interest rates were the lowest of all time. People are throwing money at businesses. Great. But you could also be in a time where interest rates are terrible and AI is coming and SaaS is worth $3.50. Who knows? But at the same time, you can create value. And if you create value, you can create money. And there's always ways of looking at these businesses. So that's the key thing for me, is like optimizing for longevity. And some people might need to hear that. Like, if you're building a business, that's what you should be optimizing for. Optimize for time in the game. And I say that to myself over and over again, and I get frustrated because we don't grow fast enough. But what is growing fast enough? Like, what does that mean? If we were growing twice as fast, it wouldn't be fast enough. Like, we just hit 444 projects in a 7-day period. That's enormous. But then the first comment that in our team was, I can't wait till we do 444 a day. Yeah, of course. But let's enjoy right now. Because 6 months to 8 months ago, we were getting 20 projects every 7 days. So we've 20x'd that in a very short period of time. And it's going to keep growing. Everything's working. And how do we just take that? It's so hard to live in the moment, especially, with all the craziness. So yeah, this is it's a bit of a thought that's just sitting in my head. And it's always kind of like, whenever things happen to you, you always sit and you come back. But I want to kind of do that more often, not just a massive life event where you question your whole life. I want to kind of do that frequently, so that I can keep adjusting and making sure and reminding myself on why I do things. Because when money isn't a thing, you need to find something else, right? Like, it needs to be something else there. And don't listen to what anyone says. Like, money isn't gonna be the thing that unlocks your happiness in your life. It really will not be that thing. You're gonna get what you always wished for. And if you haven't changed as a person or how you handle things, it's still gonna suck. You're just gonna have more problems. You're gonna wanna hold on to that money even harder. And if you haven't learnt, and I think we just have to grow over time. You can't just say that's the thing. When I have that much money, I'm gonna be happy. No, you're not. You need to find purpose in what you do. And what does that look like? To be honest, I find purpose in like being able to help other people become better in my business. And I'm a hard person to work for. Like, I'm not even gonna pretend. Like, I have very high expectations and I'm gonna push you. But when you stop working with me and when you leave working with me, you will be better for that. You will have high expectations of yourself, and you'll be able to build better things. You'll be able to make better content. You'll be able to be a better manager. You'll be able to write better code. And like, how do we just keep improving? That's the thing, I think, for me at this stage. It's like finding the value, helping other people become better so that the ride's worthwhile. And then have fun. How can we have fun? And that's why I'm really excited for having our house done, because I think that when that's done, there's a space, there's a place. It can be something that we can invite people to. We can actually spend 3-4 days on site, hanging out together with enough room to do what we need to do. So yeah, it's kind of why I have these expectations on the house, and I really hope that it can actually fulfill. I don't want to create too much pressure for that, but it's interesting what spaces can do, and places and time, and then just thinking about that. And at the same time, like, how can I be there for Bodhi and not be constantly working and missing out on this period of time? It's hard because, like, in one mind, you got the AI apocalypse coming, and you're like, well, if I wait till he's out of school and I invest all that time, then like, game over. I can't do anything else. So it's trying to find that balance. Like, obviously he goes to school now, so I have time, so I can work there. And maybe it looks like I'm not working at nighttime. because I have been for a while, been pushing really hard at night, but sitting on the couch with him and just watching some Dragon Ball Z, which is so funny, is a way we can bond and just hang out and spend time together so that we're there. And the business has to just chill. That's what has to happen. And that's fine, because in the end of the day, it's like, it's not about the hour that I did today. It's about the hour I'm going to do in 5 to 7 years time. I'm going to still be there. Because if I burn out now, the whole thing's done. So it's one of those weeks. It's been a lot of pressure. There's been a lot of mistakes. There's been a lot of money spent that shouldn't be spent. And all those things compound. And you try and just hold it together. And also then try, for me, the biggest frustration is like, I can't code. So how do we keep pushing forward? And that's a week. Some weeks are great, some weeks aren't great. And that's just kind of life, right? And then one thing Daryl said to me the other day, which was really awesome, is like, the nice thing about bad days are they don't happen that much. And it's true. After kind of the real low, I think the beginning of the week was a real low for me. I'm kind of finishing up. I'm slowly working my way up, right? It's kind of becoming better. But it's a tough one. Rest in peace, old friend. You've done well. Many years of service, started off as a salesman, ended up making a whole bunch of content, and then served as Sim and I's primary form of transportation until we could actually afford to buy our own car. But up 13 years, he said, enough's enough, on to the next one. So thank you for your service, and we'll catch you on the next one.